Hi, thanks for coming. Someone's having a nice time. No one answered me. Yeah? Good. Here are some interesting facts about the national bird of Denmark, which is the mute swan that I found on the internet. I thought I'd read you some. The national bird of Denmark is mute swan. The vulgar swan, Cygnus colour, is also called the mute swan, but it's not completely mute. It is called that for being silent during the flight. All the other swans communicate in the air, emitting strong trumpets. In the water. Sorry, I'm waiting for the internet to load up. Just give me a second. Come on. In the water, the national bird of Denmark, mute swan, creates certain sounds that disqualify him from being dumb. National bird of Denmark. In Denmark, they call it the common swan. It is already known that since the 23rd century, already in Great Britain, there were populations of this swan in a partially domesticated state. Shortly thereafter, it was introduced in France and other parts of Europe where it was established, a bird so elegant for many years, had great welcome in the beautiful ponds of the monarchies. But there were also times of scarcity, and the swan eventually disappeared from the gardens and all around. It has been reintroduced again and is once again the common swan of Europe. By the colour of its plumage, as it is to be expected, also is known by white swan. It is not the only white swan that exists. There are 4 other white swans that inhabit the northern hemisphere. Of course, if we include the Coscaroba, which has mostly white plumage, then there are 6 white swans in total. However, among the swans in ponds and fountains, this is the white swan that we see. The popularity of this national bird of Denmark, mute swan, has been such that it is a little difficult to differentiate between wild, introduced and escaped populations. At least partly wild are those that nest in northeastern Europe, in the British Isles, southern Sweden, Denmark, Holland, northern France, northern Germany, Poland, and the countries south of the Baltic Sea and the Black Sea. In Asia, the same problem is presented, and although with a great deal of reserve, they're considered as natural or wild to those who nest in the Caspian Sea, continuing eastward irregularly from southern Siberia to Lake Baikal, and those nesting in northern Mongolia. I don't know, I think there needs to be more stuff about the mute swan. The vulgar swan nesting season begins in the spring, in March or April. The couple selects an area on the shore of a lake or river. The male ferociously defends this area against all visitors, including the pigeons of the previous year's couple. He can kill a dog and attack people and boats with people. First he chases and pecks the intruder until he catches the message, but the vulgar swan rises up and ends drowning under his weight. I think that's probably enough. Hi, how are you? Cheers for coming. That was some facts about the mute swan. You can see me afterwards for some more if you want. I'm going to hand you over to Dom. Is that what's going to happen now? And you can explain the problem that's occurred.
If you don't agree with absolutely everything I say, I'll make sure you'll never work again. If you don't agree with absolutely everything I say, I'll make sure you never work again. Nobody will talk to you and everyone will think you are an absolute disgrace, even though you haven't really done anything. If you don't agree with absolutely everything I say, I'll make sure you never work again. Yeah.
I thought it was, if you don't agree with absolutely everything I say, I'll make sure you never work again, without the space.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't care if you have got a wife and family, I'm going to target you and all your friends.
Yeah. Maybe this is Sound Out Radio with Ergo and Lottie, and I think maybe it's time to talk about how this thing that nobody's really talked about, called the fake left wing has actually destroyed culture, because it's destroyed any semblance of a left. It's destroyed any sense of solidarity within
made it so
the
that
gay
the
scene.
majority of it is people. I don't know, people taking photos of themselves at protests.
Taking photos of themselves at protests
and putting it online.
Yeah, and the left wing is defined by the struggle against capitalism, which none of these people are doing. They wear dungarees from that horrible place, Lucy and Yak, and they walk around telling people how they should be living their lives.
And they're usually extremely wealthy and are paying their own fees at Bristol University.
Yes, and are, without exception, white people. Quite possibly trust fund kids.
Yeah.
And I find it very interesting that we live in a world where people who are not trans, who are not gay, who are not disabled, who are not black, are going around shouting at everyone and sort of behaving as if they are themselves a minority group, and they're not. They're white, bourgeois children who are going to end up working in weapons
MI6.
and MI6.
And the same people who say, well, the thing I've noticed as well is everybody, a lot of the people in this particular thing that we're talking about, do this like, oh, we all have mental health, remember to check in with your friends, but the only thing they mean there is people who have a bit of slight anxiety. None of these people actually, like, are sort of like kind of working on things about sort of disability rights and everything, because if anybody has got sort of psychosis or like a quite extreme mental health problem, they tend to not want anything to do with them and ostracise them completely, which really shows that it's so kind.
Yeah, the Be Kind movement.
Be kind.
This is what this
That's
is all
what it should
about.
be called. I don't want to use the word woke anymore because it's too much of a. It doesn't. It's sort of hasn't got any meaning anymore.
Well, the word woke was invented by black Americans.
And again, it's been taken by
white bourgeois. And black Americans, unless you've been living under a rock. Well, the first time we went to America for some work, we got off the plane, and the first image I saw was a little black boy shining a big fat white guy's shoes. And if you're a black person in America, you are oppressed. You are so oppressed. Black mothers in America have to give their children the talk. Not the sex talk, but the police might kill you because of the colour of your skin talk. And what I see with these white bourgeois people in their 20s and 30s who call themselves woke, I see them doing no action to fix anything, to make the world better. I see them spreading hatred, actually. I see them spreading hatred. We worked on a production a few years ago in the filth-encrusted, festering slime pit that is the city of Bristol. And
the only place where I, have to shower after going out, as opposed to before.
it was true, we did.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And we worked on this production, and my idea of going into this production, this was a few years ago, my idea of going into the production was to make a wonderful thing
for children,
and to kind of unify people, to make people happy, and to make something that was kind of innocent, that didn't have gross sex jokes in it for the adults, so the children can wince and go, oh, grown-ups are disgusting. I wanted to make a joyous panto, and it worked for the children,
Yeah, they loved it.
But the general atmosphere of the white, aggressive bourgeois who pretend to be left-wing when they are actually really, really right-wing, it bred this atmosphere of ugliness to which...
I had a breakdown. It drove me into... being you're not allowed to unalive-ality, or you're not allowed to say the S word anymore, are you?
What, sherbet?
It's the thing that I kept noticing them doing was being told by other people that because I'm not publicly presenting myself as bisexual, whatever that means, I don't know how you do that apart from having a big sign. There was all this sort of like projected thing of like assuming that I was like heteronormative and stuff. It was like, really, honey, I'm not a straight person. Like, and it's this, and it seemed that at this particular place, unless you were wearing this very specific uniform of a baby grow from Lucy and Yak, you weren't allowed.
Yeah, you white bourgeois who call yourselves woke and go around telling people what to do and how to live their lives and so on. You're actually doing nothing. No. You're just spreading hatred.
You're actually ostracising a lot of queer and disabled people as well.
Yeah.
Because you make these assumptions that every single person is this thing.
And it's about time you rethought this, really, because we aren't gonna change the world if you guys are just dyeing your hair blue, wearing dungarees, and sort of being a bit bitchy to everyone. Yeah, you're allowed to.
And then you're not allowed to. This thing of being made to feel guilty because I'm not presenting as this way that is considered performatively queer enough. And they all go around sort of going on about like, oh yeah, LGBT rights and blah blah blah. And then simultaneously I find myself being ostracised a lot out of situations because I don't look enough like a bisexual. Like, what does a bisexual look like, out of interest? What, and the I don't want to use the term non-binary because it's too attached to the gender binary, but this, without, I don't really care about this stuff anymore because everything's on fire, but, and we've got other stuff that we need to deal with, really, apart from, like, the nuances of my, non-gender sort of internal or whatever. I'm more concerned about everything being on fire at the moment.
I always hate
and I can't remember what my point was. Yeah. So it was this whole thing of like being told that when I've been out, as you would say, as a gender neutral thing. I'm literally getting so bored talking about this that I can't deal with it. But I don't understand because I'm not like presenting well enough. I have all this like homophobia coming in from people who are saying that they're against homophobia. It's absurd.
But also,
you're all talking about dress codes. Like that's not what any of it's
about.
The other
thing I would like to say about the topic of gender, which is the most important topic now in the world. My opinion on it, I've kissed boys and girls, and I think human sexuality is a fluid thing. Who knows which pair of eyes will dazzle one, But this whole, what I do see in the blue-haired dungaried woke movement is a lot of people who think that, for example, if you are a heterosexual male and you cut your hair into a bob, that makes you part of the gay scene. It doesn't. It's just a hairstyle. If you're heterosexual and you've got a bob, it means like you could play bass in Herman's Hermits. It doesn't mean that you're
but I don't understand
a gay person
as well. Like, why the emphasis now is to be performatively queer?
Yeah.
Like, I can't. So I'm supposed to walk around talking about it all the time.
I'm supposed so you have to be performatively queer, and I have to tell this to all of my friends who are like old gay academics and composers and things, who are very quiet, soft-spoken, introspective, academic, smart people. I have to tell them that what they have to start doing now is start walking around going like Charles Hawtrey. They have to start walking around going, oh yes, oh well, oh gosh, oh, and to me this is all what it's actually all about. It's got nothing to do with liberating the human soul at all. When you are putting your pronouns on your Instagram account and you're putting your sexuality, you're putting your taste, you're telling them everything about you. What's it for? It's to advertise at you.
Yeah, I was reading...
Don't tell them anything about yourself. Be someone else online. Yeah, that's what it's for. Don't tell them who you are so they can sell you things. You don't want the things they're selling you because the things they're selling you are likely destroying the planet, the astral body that we live
destroyed.
On. Yeah. So ditch the blue hair, the silly man bob, the stupid dungarees.
Also, just
shave your. It's time for everyone to like shave their heads.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm really disappointed.
Wearing robes.
I'm really disappointed that this apocalypse. I was expecting people to look a lot more sort of Mad Max.
This apocalypse
Sarah Connor.
Sucks.
It sucks. Like no one can dress. Everybody's wearing like children's clothes. Like where's all your bandanas and your everyone like we're all supposed
we
to
can't
be
just
like,
be the only ones.
Yeah, come on, you've got to wear more boiler suits, less of the baby grows, more of the boiler suits, especially the ones that are like orange that they use on oil rigs, those kind of things. They look great. More boiler suits, fewer Lucy and Yak. Terrible,
Do you know
terrible,
teenagers?
Overpriced baby grows.
Teenagers. Who wears baby grows? Babies.
And adult babies.
And adult babies. I know many people now, and I'm shocked by how many people I know who are actually adult babies, who haven't grown up at all, who are still 12. They don't wear baby grows, so they're not presenting as adult babies. So it's a bit more dangerous. So at least...
Well, they should be more performatively adult babies.
They should be
if
more
I've got to be more
performatively
performatively queer to sort of prove this thing, this is the thing that I apparently have to prove, I think they need to all, sort of everyone needs to make more performatively like a baby.
Yeah, more like a baby. You know, nappies and baby
screaming.
Food, screaming. I mean, that could be quite liberating, really, couldn't it?
Well, if everyone could do that, then there would be less of a problem. So maybe we need more. Maybe I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. So, this is a message to young people. This is where we've come in on Sound Art Radio. It's a message to young people to stop being useless. Every single time I have gone to any kind of protest, and any time I see footage of a protest, I see people over 50. What are the young people doing? And what are you thinking? Is this a whole generation of young people who just readily accept a Holocaust? You know? Is it because they're playing video games and looking up hair dye? You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of, it's like...
Shall I get my man bob trimmed this week? Or shall I cut it myself with a bread knife?
I know a lot of...
I think this week I might dye half of my hair blue.
I know a lot of millennials who are... I hate that word. It makes me feel sick it's like, it's disgusting in my mouth. But people of that age group who are very into just the video games thing, and that seems to be all it is, really. And I spend all this time talking about like, you know, how there's all this like philosophy, science fiction, sci-fi philosophy with all this technology stuff that has something to do with us, and I don't really. I think it's kind of we need to not be just sucking on the teat of consumerist thing all the time.
And I don't want to sound like I'm not being mean to the youth here.
This is out of concern.
This is out of concern.
Because everyone's
if I talk to you and I say to you, XYZ, horrible thing is happening, and then you reply, oh, don't talk about that, I've got anxiety, don't talk about that now. Guess what? A genocide should give you anxiety.
It should give you anxiety. It should give you more than that.
In fact, the whole of reality right now should give you anxiety. 3 million land animals tortured and killed a minute should give you anxiety. A potential famine in Sudan which may kill 10 million children should give you anxiety. The deliberate manufactured Holocaust in Gaza should give you anxiety. The hole in the ozone layer and the entire greenhouse effect and climate change should give you anxiety. And then if you own this anxiety, then maybe you will start to do something about it.
You can do something about it. This is all it is. It's not having a go at people. Well, it kind of is a bit, but you know, I live on this planet. You live on this planet. This is our planet. I want to continue to be alive, as I'm assuming that you all do as well. So everybody is the inhabitant of the same planet. So it's basically asking people to actually kind of collaborate with each other to try to maintain the life on this planet.
I feel very frustrated and annoyed.
People that I don't, people I don't agree with politically. It doesn't not agree. I mean, it's a bit bigger than that. But people whose views I find utterly abhorrent and detestable. We're still stuck on the same planet, so we still have to try to sort it out together because otherwise everything's over. It's the end.
I just had an idea of, for people who are like crazy fascists and stuff like that, we talk about, re-education and how to stop them being that way.
I don't think we should use the word re-education. I don't know.
Whatever.
So
but the
holistic encouraging away from violent psychopathy.
Yeah, but I had an idea of a way to deal with it. Instead of doing what they do, they put Tommy Robinson in prison for 3 weeks and let him out. All of these people who are psychopaths and go around punching people and bombing people and killing them, etc., etc. Instead of putting them in prison for a short time, you put them in a lovely spa forever.
Yeah.
So these psychopaths,
they're just distracted all the time.
They spend the rest of their lives having oily rub downs, saunas, Indian head massage.
But they're not allowed to leave.
Reiki. No, they've got to stay there. But they wouldn't want to leave.
No.
Because they're just being pampered constantly. And think about it, right? No matter how mean you were, let's think of a really, really mean person. Really mean. Okay, my mother. Okay, so you take a really mean person and you put them in a place where they can't leave. And at first they'll be going, I want to go out, I want to see the outside world.
They're going to feel really stupid when they're doing this in response to sort of like a spa.
Yeah, but over time, in 1984, the boot stamping in your face forever, right? What about the Swedish masseuse tightly and firmly pressing those most aching spots forever? And over time, I know that if I was in a bad mood and Jürgen came in and really, really went for it on my lower back, real deep muscle tissue, I'm going to be in a better mood quite quickly. And if you think about it, Tommy Robinson, angry as he is...
I don't think he's angry, he's happy with what he's doing.
Okay, well, but he is angry, isn't he? And he's very angry, but if every morning he woke up and had, first of all, a hot shower, a steam bath,
this made me feel a bit sick.
A really intense massage, and then a talking of his bottom. Then he's gonna be less angry. I mean, by 8:30 every morning after his morning health routine, he feels so lithe and limber and just honestly exhausted from all of the pleasure.
Oh, God, I really feel quite ill.
He chooses to spend the rest of the day just reading books by Nadine Dorris, like romantic ones.
Maybe that's all it is. They all just need a bit of romance in their lives.
Yeah, if you start your day with a spa treatment and spend the rest of it reading romantic novels, you ain't going to be punching people outside King's Cross Station.
No.
That's just a fact. So, Tommy, you might want to think about that. Think about getting a rub down. I think I saw Tommy Robinson in Bristol one day. In Bedminster.
I mean, the thing is, it's very difficult to actually see him. He just kind of looks like a bag.
He was fairly identifiable. He looked, angry.
I've got face blindness, so I find it pretty difficult. But I'm just going to draw my impression of what he looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's his hair, which is also the top of the Hessian sack, with branding on it, of course.
Yeah.
It's fine though. He'll think it's a crown as well, because the top of a sack sort of looks a bit like a crown. And there is his face and body, which is the rest of the bag, and then angry V.
Oh yeah,
eyebrows.
Angry.
Oh, he's so angry.
He's definitely got angry V.
He's so angry, and then he's got
the guy who
eyes.
shoved me in the street the other day.
Tiny little eyes.
Had angry eyebrows
and
too.
Then has he got a nose, or is it just sort of like
he's got
empty space?
No, he's got one of those noses that looks like a new potato.
Okay, so
just think new potato.
I'll draw a little potato, and then few little bits of, what are the little spots on potatoes called? Do you know the bits that you cut out?
They're called Tommies.
And then there's a little potato nose, and it'll be happy because it's a King Edward, so that's probably the most patriotic in his head, isn't it? Yeah. So there you go. There's my picture of Tommy Robinson.
That really does look.
Yeah, well, that's what I see him as.
Yeah,
he's
does look
sad.
like that.
He needs to turn that frown upside down.
I like the little crown as well. I like the way that he thinks of himself as like a king without a kingdom, doesn't he? The great replacement. Oh no, there's going to be more Muslims in England. I tell you what would happen, if there was like an influx of more Muslims into England, the country would get a lot more courteous and civil. It would. The country, if the Muslim population of England increases more, then you would end up with a culture that was inherently a little bit more courteous.
And you'd have much better food.
You would. And if there's a higher amount of Muslim people in the UK, then it would mean that the majority of people in the UK actually have clean bottoms. Because in Islam, cleanliness and hygiene is written. You have to keep super clean. And here in the West, we wipe our bottoms with paper from trees, which is insane. And like will.i.am said, if you just use a piece of cloth to get that chocolate out the carpet, there's still going to be some chocolate in the carpet. That's my favourite will.i.am line. And my friend Elvis Herod pointed out that when he dies, he's going to be called Will I Was. Which is nice,
that's
isn't
sad.
it? But he should say that on his gravestone.
My gravestone's going to have, she was probably faking it.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. My gravestone is just going to have a picture of Lionel Blair on it, just to confuse people. Or actually, maybe on my gravestone, I want that picture of Jasper Johns and Des O'Connor as lookalikes.
Oh yeah,
that'd be nice. Because I am kind of in my artistic proclivities, I am kind of a mixture of Jasper Johns and Des O'Connor. Really, I'm sort of light entertainment, song and dance man with a bit of abstract expressionism thrown in. That's fairly precise, I should say. So, Sound Art Radio. We've been telling the young people why they're not being effective. You can't let the next stage of do you want the next stage of society? Because this society now, as it stands at this point, for many reasons, you know, ecological, but also at this point moral, because you can't commit a Holocaust and then just continue. Can you? That's, you know, that is not a good reality to be living in. If that sets the precedent for normality, then you might be next. I see the young people not protesting, not doing activism, making music about like their shoes and their hair and brands, and talking about brands, and
there's a lot of brands.
Yeah, all your brands are nonsense. Do you know that 80% of the global economy is owned by one company?
Doesn't the term branding come from like searing something into a cow's behind?
Yeah.
So I don't really know why people love them.
No,
so
people
much.
love to be burnt and seared, but
yeah, it's from burning, isn't it?
Do you want the next stage of society to be made by the over 50s, or do you want to make it? Do you want to make the better society? You can make it. It is possible.
I mean, it's crazy that like,
there are times in history when the big change has to happen, and this is it. There has never, ever been a time when the big change is more necessary. Because if there isn't the big change, Greta Thunberg being like this single isolated figure screaming at the politicians about it,
and like, everybody mocked her,
and everybody mocks her, and people talk about killing her and things.
Yeah, but you know,
these people are like, I do not understand how people can be so vile.
She's trying to save all of their lives, the people who were talking about killing her, because if I just don't even know how to point it out in more obvious terms, like the thing of even the people who are, you know, obviously got all the people who refuse to believe anything, not believe, that's the wrong, refuse to acknowledge reality, that it's on fire, and then, what was it, Spain's currently battling the worst wildfires they've seen for decades, like, I think an area
and we just
twice the size
we globally go, alright,
yeah, that's fine, well, but I mean...
It's like, no, we need the big change now.
You've got to try and save your own life.
I want climate lockdowns. I do.
Yeah, but the climate lockdowns wouldn't be like pandemic lockdowns, would they? You'd still be allowed to go places. It's just that everything would have to get cleaner, more streamlined. You wouldn't have to drive. I mean, think about in terms of...
The problem is they want to drive. Because it gives them... Because these people have no...
I mean, I see a lot of Land Rovers without any mud on them that you around here that you're presumably just using to drive down the road, which I find a bit weird. Why you want that? Because they're pretty...
I want the big car.
They're hideous cars anyway, so...
all cars are hideous.
They're all disgusting.
They all look like Bono.
Yeah, and...
Apart from Land Rovers, who look more like The Edge.
Yeah, but it's all a bit U2 really, and everyone was in uproar when U2 automatically put their album on everybody's iTunes, but no one's got a problem that every single car looks like Bono, so it's inflicted on you all the time.
Yeah, it's Bono during the Actung Baby period. Yeah. It's precisely what every car looks like now.
But yeah, I know that the...
And Bono, what must his experience be when he's walking down the street? Oh, it's me! Oh, it's me!
Maybe his glasses...
Oh, it's me!
Maybe his glasses are completely
black.
So he can't see it. That's probably it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so whenever you talk about kind of to everyone who's against, do you remember the 15-minute city conspiracy theory that went crazy? Where everybody who is into that sort of, swayed towards that sort of kind of rhetoric were really against the idea of being able to walk to the shop for convenience.
The idea of just pragmatism.
Because everybody, all of you who are into cars, evidently it's the most important thing for you ever as a statusing point. That like, oh God forbid anyone takes away your car. But think about the amount of people that you probably know who've died in car crashes. Like I know quite a few people who've died. And I'm from the Isle of Wight, so whenever there was like lots of young people, every time they learn to drive, it's a pattern. every time a new batch of young people learns to drive, there tends to be a death on the Isle of Wight. And I see it ripping apart communities, ripping apart people's lives, destroying entire swathes of people's lives, and yet everybody still continues with it. Like, it's fine with it. But for me, if I had a really close person who'd been killed like that, I'd probably be sort of a bit wary of supporting the thing that. Yeah. I don't really understand why.
It's just madness, and in some.
Don't you want like functioning public transport which is cheap or free and clean and runs on time, where you're not likely to get killed or kill yourself, and I just don't see, and it doesn't burn the planet. Like, don't we want to not die? Like,
the movie Koyaanisqatsi meant life out of balance, doesn't it? The word means life out of balance. And now the world, and this was the 1970s, and now the world is so out of balance that the man-made stuff on the planet outweighs the actual planet. Which,
the Earth's axis has tilted because of the amount of groundwater that we've drilled out. Think about that. You've changed...
and
this species that you all support, this society that the majority of people think is fine, has changed the literal axis of the planet.
Which, if that is not hubris, I do not know what is. The entire Western civilization is now just completely hubristic.
I mean, the fact that
and in Greek tragedy, well,
it doesn't really go well.
Hubris doesn't go well. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody knows it beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Well,
they're talking about drilling the moon. That's literally this whole thing about. Somebody was talking about putting a mirror in the sky to block out the sun because, God forbid, we stop using fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Really? You think that's going to work? They seriously think that's going to work? Just turn it off!
What gets me is that if I have here in front of me like a solid block, right? If I have a sphere in front of me, say I have this, like, I have a concrete sphere, and inside the concrete there's another material, inside the concrete another material, blah, 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 blah. And if I keep drilling holes in that concrete sphere, well, eventually, isn't that concrete sphere just going to crack open like an egg? Mm. And when I heard this news story of the man-made stuff now outweighs the natural stuff and the weight of the planet, when I heard that, I didn't think, oh God, that's a bit bad. I thought, oh my God, the planet's going to crack in half then. Like, if you put something, if you get a chair and put, or if you get a surface and put stuff on the surface that is much, much, much heavier than that surface, then the surface will break. So if there is more weight on this ball than the weight of the ball itself, then that ain't good for the ball, surely.
Oh, yeah. It's really not good.
No.
Is it? The axis thing is...
No. And young people, is this the future you want? You can actually make the future. It belongs to you. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to old people. It belongs to you.
Everyone.
Because we'll be dead. And you won't be, because you're younger. So, do something about it. Like, as wild as you can possibly think, the wildest things you could do, now is the time to do them. Go wild. Try and change the way that the stupid people who you know think. Mm. Try to actively deconstruct and make holes in this reality. And there's nothing mystical about that, because our reality is created. We have created these systems in which we live and which we are locked. Even down to the fact that we still use the Augustan calendar to define where we are in space. You know? And we use Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we use all of these things to frame the way that we think. Oh, it's Friday today. when in fact it isn't Friday. You're spinning around in space on a ball, careering through space. It is never Friday. It has never been Friday. It's never been Thursday. It's never been Saturday. It's never been January. It's never been February. All of these things are artificial that we've imposed to try and make some structure out of this chaos. All this used to be trees. Yeah, so. All of this used to be trees, and they weren't aware of Monday and Tuesday. And nor am I, apart from when I know I've got to do a radio show. You know, like there are times in
massive.
There are times in history when it's more than necessary for things to change. And do you know about this Siberian? There's an area in Siberia, which seems to suggest. I can't remember the exact details. I was reading about it yesterday. An area in Siberia which seems to suggest geologically that there was some kind of great extinction caused, and that this great extinction, this particular one, the evidence in Siberia seems to suggest that it was caused by, at that time, about 300,000 years ago, burning fossil fuels, they think. Now,
what?
Yeah. They think that they were burning fossil fuels 300,000 years ago, and it caused a big disaster.
Are we in Ridley Walker?
That's new. This is new scientific speculation based on evidence that they've evidence, a little boy that they've found, which is wonderful, you know. And we're totally at the point where all our history is about to be totally rewritten.
We're at the point where we might be able to cure most diseases, and this is the point that everyone's choosing to just abandon the very planet that we exist upon.
But people still look at me like I'm crazy if I talk about the Nazca mummies and so on. But the Nazca mummies, 300 or so, not mummified but desiccated, non-human corpses, who are so intact that we have CT scans of their eggs, you know, and they were in Peru between 1800 and 700 years ago. They were in Peru. The area of Nazca where the Nazca lines are was historically known as the laboratory. We're about to find out extremely interesting things. A massive structure was discovered, I believe, again in South America, a year or two ago. They discovered a giant wooden structure. And guess what? It dates from 500,000 years ago, before, as far as we knew, anyone was building anything or doing anything. And Homo sapiens didn't even exist. It is a remarkable time to be alive. And I have the feeling if we cannot blow up the astral body that we live on, I have a feeling that we're about to go into an epoch of human history that is more remarkable and mind-blowing than any of us could even imagine. And I can imagine a lot, but I cannot imagine the potential of living in a universe where we move from A to B by folding space-time, for example. And who knows, maybe we get there, you know? There are so many exciting, brilliant things being invented, and there are so many brilliant people doing brilliant things. They have pretty much cured HIV, and now Donald Trump is removing funding for it.
Yeah, great,
but brilliant. The brilliant people do the brilliant things regardless. If there are idiots in charge, brilliant people will still be brilliant. And this is my call to the young people to be brilliant instead of bland. Why do you want to be bland? Also, your hair is terrible. The man bobs are terrible. And goodness me, the mullets. I've seen young men with mullets. I've seen young women with mullets. I've seen non-binary people with mullets. And they're all under 30. and they didn't see it the first time round. They weren't surrounded by it.
Yeah,
in the 1980s. You have to cut the mullet.
Cut the mullet.
We cannot have a mullet revolution.
Like
the
Wesley
revolution
Willis
will not be mulletised.
Yeah, Wesley Willis. Take a tip from him. Cut the mullet.
Cut the mullet.
The mullet is the reason why people hate you.
Yeah.
Take yourself to the barber shop and tell the barber you're sick of looking like a...
Do something about your long, filthy hair. It looks like a rat's nest. Do something about your mullet. Get out the hair clippers, jerk. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Get the rat's nest off your head. Get that crazy mullet off your skull. Take that to the barber shop. Tell the barber that you're sick of looking like an asshole. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. The mullet is the reason why people hate you. They are sick of looking at your nappy wheat sack. Nobody wants to look at you with that mullet on your head. Why don't you cut that mullet, you numbskull? Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Cut the mullet. Rock over London, rock over Chicago, insure what? It's the insurance superstore.
Yeah, but you know, you don't even need to go to the barbershop, borrow your friend's hair clippers, whip it off. I want to see now, I want to see all the young people with shaven heads and wearing Hessian sacks.
What? Come on,
and come on, young people. I see a lot.
Get a mohawk.
I see a lot of you young people wearing the worst thing. The worst thing, which is grey tracksuit bottoms and grey tracksuit top. It's the single worst thing that anyone has ever worn. Even worse when men wear them, because it's graphic.
Oh no.
It's not good. And why? If you want to go around looking like a bag, do it in a St. Francis style. Wear a Hessian sack.
Yeah. Like
Don't
Jesus.
go around in grey tracksuit bottoms made in sweatshops. It's not cool. It's not big. It's not clever. Cut the mullet. Get some better clothes.
Don't wear a baby grow.
And start listening to punk music, for goodness sake.
I mean, where is all the punk music? It's pretty dire, really, isn't it? It's not...
I've been trying to get that young lad in Co-op who looks like a punk. I've been trying to get him to listen to Fugazi.
He looks like he's into Fugazi. Come on, you got to get into Fugazi.
And he said to me last time, he said, I've Googled it, but I haven't listened yet. So he's
one step closer.
The guy in Co-op is going to listen to Fugazi. Okay? And it's going to change, it's going to blow his mind, because he actually said to us, the guy in Co-op, because I'm obsessed with Co-op radio, and I always talk to the people in Co-op.
Fugazi.
They should. Fugazi on Co-op radio would be great. And I always talk to the people in Co-op about what's on Co-op radio, and they hate it because it's too repetitive, plays the same things, etc., etc. And this kid in Co-op said, I just don't like music.
Yeah, okay, so everybody's had the beautiful things in life taken away from them by phones.
Yeah.
Because that's a new perspective for a young person to have. And I've met a lot of young people who were like, I'm not into music, and that's because you're not being exposed to music. Because when you hear music, you will be into music. Yeah. So it's just really...
There are some exceptions, aren't there? In Oliver Sacks' book Musicophilia, he talks about it a lot, that there are some people who neurologically, they don't hear pitch. So there's a brain type that if they hear Mozart, if they literally, because the brain can do weird things. Like the man who mistook his wife for a hat. Literally, it's a man who, when his wife was sat next to him, he only saw a bowler hat. You know, so the brain does very strange.
Yeah.
Thing. And there is a brain type or brain disorder or whatever, where if you were sat watching Beethoven's Fifth or something, the brain only interprets it as percussive and doesn't hear the pitches.
But I mean, maybe...
So people with that will go and hear Beethoven's Fifth and they'll just hear bang, 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 bang!
Yeah, but maybe, you never
Which
know,
I'd
maybe that brain type is it can be a positive.
And Lo Gabba was born.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Maybe that brain type, the people who are really into percussion are that particular brain type. Like maybe it's got...
No, they don't. They don't get into percussion.
Really?
They just don't like music.
Well,
because they don't get into percussion. That was raised in the book, I think. They hate percussion just as much because it all sounds the same.
Okay.
Everything just sounds and doesn't have, like, they can't hear dynamic range either. So they just hear like an assault of percussive kind of. They don't hear pitch at all.
Right.
The other thing that I loved in that book, as well as the wonderful story of the guy who was struck by lightning and was a concert pianist, concert standard-ish pianist 3 months later, because he got zapped by lightning, woke up and was like, I have to play piano.
Yeah.
I have to play piano.
Oh yeah, and I
then,
really think you can probably get to, like, when I started playing piano, I got from 0 to about grade 5 in a couple of months, maybe 6 months, or something. So, and then after that, I did another year or something. And it was grade 8 after that. I think you can learn all the basics of it in like a few months, really, if you really, really go at it and you work out how to practice. Because the people who would get the best at piano and stuff aren't that they know how to practice. That you have to break it into tiny little sections and repeat it all like drills over and over again.
But you
and
also
it's
have
like,
to have the desire.
Yeah, the desire. Like the main thing is like a lot of people.
That's the thing, the impulse.
A lot of people talk about wanting to get into music, and a lot of the thing that stops them is like this fear that they're going to get ridiculed and stuff. But like everyone starts from 0. So, and this thing about having pre-existing abilities, just well, I mean, there are certain things that can help.
I do think that.
But I think anyone's got as much of a shot as anyone else.
I do
get
think
very good at something.
I believe deeply that everybody is an artist.
Yeah,
I believe that deeply.
You never know with
and most people don't do it because they've been belittled. They've been told they can't. They've been told
that they can't. They've been told,
but
get a real job, do this.
Every single human being surely has something inside them.
Yeah, that they want to.
Yeah.
And just this whole, I mean, you know, we sort of been to a few meetings where people are talking about the rise of the right wing and stuff like that, and I'm not that I've got any sympathy for racism at all, but I do think that there are public health crises which, like this is a public health crisis, I think, and I don't think that it's, you know, a wild coincidence that all of this sort of stuff is happening where the whole population, regardless of political proclivities or whatever you want to call it, the whole population is deeply unhappy. And just think about what have we got? They've taken away all the arts funding. You don't get taught music in schools anymore. Most kids are being brought up being told that they're going to have to go into AI.
Just to point out, while Lottie's saying this, I am taking my antidepressants.
So, I mean, everyone's very angry, but really what has the population got to look forward to? Maybe, like, the way of solving all the anger, instead of trying to placate this completely false idea about immigration, which is just that it just isn't affecting you.
It might make your culture a bit richer.
It'll probably make your life
might improve
much better,
this dull country a bit.
I think people need to be given something to think about. And
you might want to think about that. All
they've got is this vapid commerce world. I don't know, if you want to stop people being completely angry to the extent that they, you know, blow up completely, maybe give them give people things to make it better. I mean, like you were saying the other day, it just looks like a car park, most of this country. It's completely uninspiring. Yeah. Everything that was good about it has been stripped away by you know, just squashing any kind of like sort of interesting or free thing or cheap thing for the public to do. There's no libraries anymore. You know, I expect hardly anyone reads anymore.
No, they don't.
Like when I was younger, it was weird if you met someone who'd never read a book, and then as I got older, I met that's like the norm now.
Yeah.
There used to be a time when you couldn't even
fathom
that no one had read a book.
I remember
and now it's very normal.
the first person I met who said they'd never read a book, and I remember being really shocked.
Really shocked by it,
Yeah.
and now it's just like.
But this guy was a Marine, so. Oh dear. Yeah, you got to read books because it's all very well reading articles on the internet.
It's not the same.
It is not the same.
It doesn't do the
No.
same. You're not being let into this universe.
No. And the book is a magical object. Every single book is like this. Like I'm astounded by them. I'm astounded that they exist. I'm astounded that each word for a start is its etymology. So each word is a world, and then you put those words together and bind it. And you have worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds within worlds. And if it happens to be Nabokov, you have worlds within worlds on top of worlds and words and worlds and words and worlds and words and creeping vines and twisting things and worlds inside and worlds outside of words and worlds and worlds. And I'll just add here, just to add to what my brilliant friend, the composer Pete Murphy, said recently. I would like to agree with him that Vladimir Nabokov, despite it being his third language, is the greatest exponent of the English language. Nobody, even people like Joyce, have got anywhere near as close to the, I don't even know how to describe it, the sort of mad enchantment inside all language and inside all life and inside all nature. So, yeah, I can't remember how I ended up talking about
books
Nabokov.
contain universes and multitudes,
Yeah.
and it's not the same as reading articles.
No, it's not the same as reading articles on the internet,
like,
made
we
by
were talking
people who
about
can't write.
We were talking about this with Stephen King. Well, most of them are ChatGPT now.
Yeah.
Like most of the music reviews that I read, because I read popular culture for some reason, probably because I hate myself somewhere. But yeah, I read all the stuff, and it's so obviously written by ChatGPT. It doesn't really make any sense. Like,
No.
you can tell when it's all this conversation about people saying, how are you going to tell it's written by a computer? And it's like, well, but you can tell because the focus isn't the same as what a human would do. The focus is on these like weird bits that, like when you see an image that's made by machine learning, it's set up really like, you can tell it's not real because there's a point of focus as if it's been made by a machine.
Yeah.
And all the shadows are too exact and everything like that. It looks like a kind of a sketch of reality.
I'd like to tell the audience, in case they haven't already found out about this, that people find ChatGPT very confusing in France because the French pronunciation is ChatGPT. And this in French sounds like cat, I have broken wind. Chat, je, péter. Péter is to break wind. So, Chat GPT, French people are walking around saying, cat, I have broken wind. Chat GPT. Which is nice, isn't it?
It's a good description of
Chat
society.
GPT, and also the French, they pronounce Wi-Fi as Wi-Fi.
Oh, I like that.
So they have the Wi-Fi Chat GPT. Oh. Ah, la France, la France. We must go to Marseille, my darling. But I tell you what, speaking of Marseille, Field System Gallery in Ashburton, who are a cool gallery, they also sell Savon de Marseille. Mon savon préféré.
Oh, it's great.
Oui. It comes in all lovely flavours. It's
It
fully
lasts for a long
vegan.
time.
I used to buy it when I lived in France.
It's pretty good value.
It lasts a long time.
Like 3 weeks for £3.
It is. Makes you smell lovely and clean. And
£1 a week.
Yeah, £1 a week.
Prices like that.
To keep lovely and clean. And as far as I know, Savon du Marseille are not involved in the mass murder of thousands and thousands of people. So I tend to find nowadays that if I'm going around the shops looking for some lovely branded items, I tend to choose the ones that have not been involved in the mass slaughter of thousands of children. Oh, well, that's a bit of a radical position.
Right, okay. Like, how dare you criticise Unilever? I'm sure they'll be fine behind their billions of pounds.
Yeah, they'll be just fine. Hey! But there's a theory that you come up with this week, and it's true. 'Tis true. And the internet's going to know about it soon. Katy Perry's AI.
Oh yeah, she's not.
She's not. No, she's
not real.
Katy Perry, even when she was married to Tom Cruise, was the no, she wasn't. She was married. Who was she? Russell Brand. Katy. Who was Tom Cruise's Katy? Katie Holmes or something.
Not.
Katy. Tom Cruise was married to a Katy.
Tom Cruise was not married to Nicole Kidman.
It was, but he was also married to someone called Katie.
Katie Holmes is in Dawson's Creek.
Was she from Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The hot one that.
Is she the hot one from Dawson's Creek?
Yeah, well, they're all hot, but
Right.
she was the one of my early women that I fancied.
Well, when Russell Brand was married to Katy Perry, he didn't even know that she was a simulation.
No.
She was the first instance of Cat I Broke Wind.
Yeah.
She was the beginning.
And she killed a nun.
She did kill a nun. This is true. It's not libelous. It's true. She stressed
I won't
out.
Kill a nun.
I will live a
like
life
Katy
of
Perry.
pleasure.
No.
Katy Perry did kill a nun. She wanted this nun's land, didn't she?
It was
or
like
something?
I don't know whether it was the convent.
She wanted to buy the convent,
and then they got so stressed out by the property dispute.
She pressured this nun to death.
Yeah, let's have a look. Katy Perry.
You once told a nun. You once told a nun to go and stuff it, didn't you?
Well, she was being very nasty.
She was being a nasty nun.
I don't think she really believed in Jesus.
No. I don't think I've ever been rude to a nun or a priest.
Oh, she was really horrible.
Yeah, she was.
She wasn't like a proper nun. She was a teacher.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't think I've been rude to like priests or bishops. Bishop was rude to me when I was a kid.
Well, I've met a lot of
when I left the Mormon Church abruptly.
I've met a lot of priests who didn't really seem to. I mean, I don't really think they're into it, really.
Priests?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them who seem quite sort of atheistic in the...
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of people who are kind of atheists who become priests to just kind of try and make a community better.
I think there's a weird thing, isn't there, that a lot of religion... Well, I don't know, but I'm talking about sort of Christianity here, that people go into it and they haven't sort of had the call. I guess I always assumed that everybody got the call.
No,
the weird
of
sort of apocalyptic visions
go
and
into
stuff.
it for all sorts of reasons.
Right.
I mean,
I've rarely met anyone who's had the big apocalyptic visions thing.
No.
So you when you start having the apocalyptic, who are you supposed to talk to?
I don't know.
Let's move on because everyone thinks I'm insane. Anyway,
if there's always been something that appeals to me about being a priest, and something maybe I try to convince myself that I'd like to do good and for the piety and
the dress code.
But that's the thing. The main reason I want to be a priest is I want to wear that goddamn outfit.
You could always make your own.
Long black smock
Yeah.
With a there. And I've accidentally dressed as a priest before. I've dressed just like a priest and haven't realised it, and spent train journeys with people saying, "Thank you, Father," "Salute me, Father," and things like that, which was one of the best days of my life.
No one liked it when I dressed
But it's
up
illegal.
as a train conductor.
No, they didn't like it. But you know, it's against the law to dress as a
Is
priest.
it?
Yeah.
Really?
You aren't allowed to dress as a priest.
Well, in case you do
You might go and do some sermoning.
illegal mass.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should start doing illegal masses. Can you get arrested for illegal mass?
You can only get arrested for illegal mass murder. Oh no, wait! It depends who you are, doesn't it? As we have seen. It depends who you are and whether or not it's considered illegal. Yeah, you can get done for illegal mass murder, but not illegal mass. So all mass? Are you telling me then that all mass is legal? I don't know.
Wow, legal mass. Should we listen to some religious music?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have some holy music.
Do one through that and then you can start. Okay? Yeah? Are you going to sing it?
I'll sing it.
Yeah. Do you want to
well, I thought we'll do that and then we'll pray. The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me down to lie in the pastures green. He leadeth me the quiet waters by.
join in if you know the words? Yeah, I do. Again?
Again. The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me down to lie in pastures green. He leadeth me the quiet waters by. Yeah, now I'll just keep doing the accordion and we'll pray. Should we pray? Dear Lord, in this our time of suffering, grant solace, friendship, and love to our brother Lucas Simone, that he may be granted a speedy recovery with his right or left arm, whatever it is. And the tree house from whence he did fall, the avant-garde tree house from whence he did fall to the quarry depths, shall burn, and Lucas shall continue to be a figurehead of the Rotterdam underground punk scene. Grant us this, O Lord. You and the next prayer. Oh yes, this prayer. Yes. Okay, we have one more prayer to aid Lucas's speedy recovery. Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely. And it's a crying shame. I'm not the only friend of Lucas in this room, I know that, and Lucas is a very nice man. And it couldn't happen to a nicer person. sei bei mir, die Sonne schon sich neigt, die dunkle Nacht zu Erde niedersteigt, wenn Hilfe fördern, flieh ich hier zu dir. Gott, der Verlassenen, du bleib bei mir. Der gute Tag des Lebens schnell entflieht, der Erdenfreuden Schimmer bald verglüht. Wer an uns erfahren um mich hier, o du Unwunderbare, bleib bei mir. Lässt mir den Kreuz vor Herz und Augen stehen, wenn Wunder ich soll zum Himmel gehen, die Dunkelschäden Himmelsland durchbricht. Im Tod und Lebens bleib du Herr, mein Licht. One more. Okay. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, join in. Bist du mir nah, trotz ich der Feinde hier, der Schmerz verstummt, die Tränen nimmt nicht mehr, ob auch noch Tod und Hölle drohen hier. Weshalb ist mein, bist du nur Herr bei mir. Yeah, well, soon, Lucas.
everybody welcome to Hope. Sometimes, somehow, somehow.